Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're doing great. The weather's looking good. And this is episode 186 of Find Music. We go to our second batter who's batting first again because Fred is away, but he'll be back next week. So for now, Murray takes the top spot. Ooh. Hey, Murray. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Take it.
Okay. Well, every week when I'm trying to think of someone to talk about, the question comes up, are they obscure enough to belong on Find Music? Or is it someone everyone has already discovered and I would just be redundant? I mean, unless, I know one of the things that both Jim and Fred have done is taken names that are well known but picking out more obscure works of theirs or providing more perspective on them. So what I'm hoping today that my artist is well known, but if not, you should definitely check him out. And if you do know who he is, you may not know how widespread his work is. So the person I'm going to talk about today is the guitarist Adrian Belew.
Oh, nice.
One of my favorite guitarists. One of those guitarists who has a unique sound that no one else really sounds like him, and he's got a few tricks up his sleeve he likes to pull out. I'll start out by giving you the background as I understand it. Now, some of these stories I'm going to tell may not be true, but some of them definitely are. And the first one definitely is that Adrian Belew was discovered by Frank Zappa in the mid-'70s. He was playing in, his small town in, I think it was Ohio, but maybe Illinois, one of those Midwestern states. And Zappa came through town, and I guess, I don't know, for whatever reason, decided to check out some local talent and liked what he saw in Adrian Belew and hired him pretty much on the spot to join his next tour. So Adrian Belew went off to Europe with Frank Zappa. And in Europe, at one of the shows, I believe in Germany, that would make sense, David Bowie was backstage. And when Zappa took like a 10, 15-minute guitar solo, and Adrian Belew as the second guitarist was unneeded, he was kind of, stepped off stage, and Bowie went up to him and said, "Hey, when you're done with this guy, do you want to come play with me?" And he said yes. And then after the show, Zappa went up to Bowie and said, "Are you poaching my guitarist?" And Bowie said, "It's already done." So Belew then went and played on Bowie's next tour, which was in 1978, and was supporting the album Heroes, among other things. And now this story, I'm not absolutely sure if it's true, but the story I read somewhere in Guitar Player magazine or something like that is that Bowie gave Belew the album Heroes and said, "Here, learn the guitar parts." So Belew took the album home and learned the guitar parts. And then when Fripp heard him play, he was amazed because Fripp, who did most of the guitar on Heroes, had done a lot of it with tape loops and special studio effects and things like that. And Belew just played them straight. So that gives you some idea of his talent. He did record one album with Bowie. That's this guy here, Lodger. Some very unique, very neat guitar parts on this, especially on, in my opinion, Red Sails has really great guitar solo at the end, but also DJ and Red Money, just really good stuff there. That is the only album he ever did with Bowie, because next thing you know, there's the album I want.
He joins a certain group.
Well, these guys pick him up, not really as a full-on member, but to supplement the recording of this album, Talking Heads and Remain in Light. And here's another story I heard that I'm not even sure if I believe, but that Byrne actually recorded Belew's guitar parts before anything else. He just told him to play guitar and then worked that into the songs that the Talking Heads were working on. I find that a little hard to believe because the guitar parts fit so well, but who knows? And then Belew went out on tour with Talking Heads, and that I thought I grabbed that album, but I guess I didn't. But that's on the the name of the album he's on is name of this band is Talking Heads, and there's a full set from their 1980 tour on that album. And then he actually briefly played with these guys, Tom Tom Club, which is the rhythm section from Talking Heads, of course. Tina Weymouth and Chris France. They went down to the Bahamas and had a great time making this album. And Belew plays a lot of guitar on it. And there's one cut on this album which fits in with his future, and it's called The Elephant. And I'll get back to that in a minute, because then Belew joined these guys, King Crimson, the 80s version of King Crimson, and actually stuck with them for 3 albums and at least as many tours. But on this album, and it may have been stuff he was already doing, but this is the first one I know where he really showcased his talent for imitating animals. The opening cut on this is called Elephant Talk, and it's all about various forms of speech. But at the end of the song, Belew imitates an elephant calling out. And then his first solo album is called The Lone Rhinoceros. And on that album, he plays a rhinoceros. He has a song called Big Electric Cat, where he does cat effects. So it just kind of demonstrates his versatility. His general sound is fairly distorted, and I don't know, like very wave-like, and then with Crimson he played a lot. He and Fripp played off a lot, playing similar rhythms but offbeat a little bit and such. He went on. Now I have now seen him 5 times. I saw him the first time I saw him with Crimson on the Discipline tour. And then I saw a couple of shows of him with his own band, playing in little clubs in California. Really fun guitarist to watch. And then in 1990, he went back to Bowie and joined Bowie's Sound and Vision, quote, greatest hits tour, where Bowie claimed he was retiring all his big hits and was never going to play them again. And which of course he didn't stick to, even though he did for like 10 years. He did and retire a lot of them. But Belew was the lead guitarist on that tour. He also, I remember he got one solo spot in the set, which was his current hit, which is called Pretty Pink Rose, which is off his album Young Lions. And then, I kind of lost track of him. I'm sure he was out there playing with lots of people, but just recently he joined up with Jerry Harrison of the Talking Heads, and I just saw this concert about a month ago, recreating the 1980 Talking Heads tour, playing most of the songs from that tour. With a lot of the songs on that tour, they had greatly altered the arrangements, and especially the introductions from the studio versions. And so on this tour, they pretty much stuck with those live arrangements of them, which I thought was pretty neat, because some of them I really, really liked. And put on a great show again, just dancing to the Talking Heads, to some of their most beat-heavy songs. He did throw in a King Crimson song. He did play Thala Hunjinji in the middle of the set, which was one of only a couple of points when they stepped away from the Talking Heads. Jerry Harrison played one of his solo songs. But my point is that Belew is a very versatile guitarist, but also, like I say, he has his own sound. He really pushes the limits of what you can do with a guitar. And if you like that, and that's kind of why I give the Jimi Hendrix comparison. Not that I don't think Belew is quite on the level of Hendrix, but he is a guitarist like Hendrix, like Nels Cline, who I talked about in one of the first one of these, who pushes the limits of what you can do with an electric guitar, who finds new effects and new sounds and new ways of playing guitar that really make it interesting to listen to him, and definitely raise him above your, I don't know, standard guitar hero who's out there strangling the guitar neck and seeing how many notes he can fit into 30 seconds and whatnot. So my recommendation today is, even if you're familiar with them, dig a little deeper into the Adrian Belew's catalog.
That's a good review. God, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Nice work. I just pulled up on my computer. He's on tour this summer, or April, May, and June.
Yeah, that's the tour I saw.
He's going to be in Westbury, New York, April 15th. No, this year.
He's doing a solo tour?
He's going to be with Peter Murphy and Scrody or something.
Okay, there is a conflict there, because those tour dates are the exact same as the tour dates for the tour he's doing with Jerry Harrison for the Talking Heads.
Right. That's May 16th, May.
Okay.
Due on May 16th, it says.
Yeah. It's somebody is I don't know, misrepresenting. It's weird.
I should go to his regular website. Official site of Adrian Belew.
He did a tour of Bowie material.
Maybe that was last year.
Yeah, right.
I've seen mistakes on concert listings before.
Yeah, let's see. Here we go. Remain in Light, Jerry Harrison and Adrian Belew, Remain in Light 2023. Okay. February 17th. Okay. You must have seen him recently then.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Exactly. I saw him in Buffalo.
Buffalo on the 28th.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this one's see if he's coming around here.
I think someone forgot to remove his name from the PR for the Bowie tour.
That was StubHub. Now I'm on his personal website. And these are all 2023 events.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's going to be, let's see, today is the 13th, Mill Valley, California today.
Wow.
Then Seattle, Portland, Oregon, Columbus, Ohio, Detroit, Richmond, Virginia, Raleigh, North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, Atlanta, Columbia, South Carolina, Dallas, Austin, Houston, New Orleans, Mobile, Alabama, and Tampa, Florida on the 20th of June.
Okay, so you still have chances to catch him, folks, and I highly recommend it.
That'd be a great show. Hey, is King Crimson still touring?
No, my understanding is the last tour that Fripp has called it quits for King Crimson.
Okay.
That's my understanding. But then Fripp has called it quits for King Crimson before in the past. So you never know.
I heard Fripp was going to tour with his wife.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Watch for it. All right. Thank you, Murray. That was really good. Yeah. This is episode 186 of Fine Music. Signing off.